Good evening, everyone out there in the real world. Here in the life of Baz, there's been a lot of trial and error going on, lots of great ideas being thought of, not written down, and so lost in the embers of what is Baz's memory. So today we're going to finally get to speak to Baz himself and get an idea of what he's thinking and doing, as well as that Baz and Elaine are going to go over a couple of interesting things that have happened to them this week, and we'll see a blast from the past. But first, let's go and say hi to Baz. Hi, Baz. How are you?
Hi CB, I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm excellent and delighted at last that we're now going live. So let's get started. We know you've set some targets for yourself. Let's hear what they are.
Okay, so coming at number one, and without a doubt the most important one, is to lose weight. I've been fat and lazy for far too long now, so it's time to dump the fat and get fit again. So that's my main focus, is just losing weight. I won't give the game away. I'm just under 16 stone, at the moment. So I'm looking to get down to about 12 and a half. That's kind of what I've got in my head. So we'll see if we can get there and how long that takes. So that's my main focus. But after that, maybe before that I'll start, but before I get there. But certainly that's the focus. What I'm then going to aim to do when I feel that I'm ready is I want to be able to cycle 100 kilometres, I want to be able to run for 5 kilometres, and I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups. So not necessarily in that order, but that's my goals.
Well, some lofty goals there indeed, and as you say, the diet being the most important and losing that excess weight. So with those in mind, what's the point of this podcast?
So the podcast is kind of just like a recent idea. I had been videoing or taking videos just to kind of keep myself focused. So it was just a tool to try and keep me on track with the diet. And it was I was enjoying it, but just through taking the videos, putting them together, I just one day kind of thought to myself, actually, I'd like to do something a bit different. AI is becoming massive nowadays. It's absolutely everywhere. And I started to kind of look into it, and one of the things that you discover when you start to look into it is to get the proper stuff is very expensive, but there are some cheaper alternatives, and the way I'm doing it is definitely one of them. So yeah, the whole podcast, it was just an idea. It's something to keep me focused on the diet and keep me busy. While I'm sitting at the laptop, I've got it in my head that there will be no eating, there will be no snacks or anything in front of me. While I'm looking into things, a little bit of research, there will be no snacks or anything in front of me. And that's helping me with the diet, to be honest with you. It's just taking my focus away from the fact that I'm not eating all the things that I'd love to be eating. And it's giving me something new to concentrate on and to enjoy doing.
We all know that anything that can distract you from food while you're on a diet is a good thing. So going forward, what can we expect to see?
My idea at the moment is that we're going to see some chat from Elaine and I about our week, how the diet's gone. Of course, we'll give you an update on the weight progress, whether we've lost or gained. That's going to really be the main thing, I think. Hopefully a couple of stories that might be interesting or funny to throw in every week. I've got a couple of people that have actually volunteered. They'd like to be in the podcast as well. So we're going to have a wee chat, I think, about their lives and what's going on with them. For me, a couple of very interesting people with health issues, which I think either affects everyone at some point or definitely affects everyone indirectly. But I don't want to give too much away. We'll see. We'll see when we get them on, and you can see for yourself. But then, so that's a couple of people that we've got lined up, and hopefully more. I'll come forward if anyone actually watches. But I will be honest with you, the main driver for this is for me and Elaine and the future. So it's just so that later on in life, if God willing, we're both still here, we can it's something to have a look back at, have a laugh, and at the moment keeping me occupied. So chances are things will change as we go forward. I'm still planning on putting in proper videos, so that we're going to do a proper couple of videos coming up on this episode. but I'll just keep tweaking it over time, see what Elaine and I actually fancy doing. So we created a couple of characters, created a character for Pico, we've got Chimp, maybe more we'll bring in, maybe we'll just phase them out. It's, to be honest with you, it's just as long as it's fun, and it's going to be primarily for Elaine and I, and if other people like it and find it worthwhile, and if we can turn it into something that people can watch and enjoy, perfect.
We're going to leave it there for now with you, Baz. Thank you for the insight into what's potentially ahead for the podcast, and I look forward to speaking to you again. So that was Baz, and as I said, we'll certainly be seeing and hearing from him on a regular basis. Up now, that was the very first podcast chat between Elaine and Baz.
So this is really just a tester. So I thought what we would do, just for a bit of a giggle, is we'll have a quick chat about something that's happened to us this week, or a couple of things that have happened to us, one individually, bit embarrassing for both of us. You want to go first?
I'll go first. Yesterday, the Berlingo had passed its ITV, which was excellent. Needed to go and put diesel in it, and it needed some additive. So went into the Sepsa garage, picked up the additive, which is on the shelf marked Gasolea, prepaid for the fuel to put in, and went out, put half the bottle of the additive in, and then it wouldn't let me fill it up with diesel. So I called the guy over, and he said, it won't let you fill up with diesel because you've paid for gasoline, which is petrol. Then proceeded to tell me that the bottle that I'd bought was actually for petrol engine rather than diesel, which is what the Berlingo is. So he very kindly phoned the mechanic, because he knew him, and explained what I'd done, and the mechanic said it was absolutely fine. So I was a bit disheartened because I thought I knew my Spanish, but I hadn't actually read the bottle, so bit of a numpty. What about you?
Yes, you had a bit of a numpty. Well, mine's was today, and we went shopping to a big place called El Corte Inglés, which is the English cut translated. So it's about six floors. And we were going to get me some Star Wars Lego, which we got. But we parked in the car park. We'd never been in this place before, underground, and we made our way over to the lifts. You asked me a question while we were walking towards the lift, and I gave you an answer. I said no was my answer. And we got into the lift because we got into the lift where there was very loud music. It was playing, and it was Young Bud. Not sure who the band is. I don't know if it's the Jonas Brothers. But anyway, it's a very good song. And of course, but there was two other Spanish women who didn't appear to be together. So pleasant. Both said hello to us as we got in, and then we were listening to this music playing and chatting away and singing at the same time because we were going up a few floors. But they got out individually at different floors from us and both said goodbye to each other. Yeah, which I thought was very nice of them. Very, very pleasant, because in the UK, your eyes are forward in a lift. You do not make eye contact with people you do not know. But anyway, so we got to our bit and we got out. And as we stepped out, after about 10 seconds, I thought to myself, why have they got lots of music playing? And then if we go back to earlier in the building where we were walking to the lift, the question you asked me was,
is your music still playing? Because in fact the music was coming out of your pocket outside.
To which I answered, as I said, no. Why would my music be playing? It was playing in the car. We've left the car. It switches itself off automatically. Yes, the music that was playing ridiculously loud in the lift was my music. And so these two Spanish women have obviously looked at us going, why have they played music and singing away to themselves? They obviously thought we were absolute head cases. So I had no idea. I just heard the music and I was enjoying the music. So that was my day. Okay, so we are going to go into this week's results. I'm going to start, and for me, I have had a £2 loss, which I am going to laugh about. I'm absolutely delighted with the £2 loss. But again, apart from last week where I had a £3 loss, every single week for the last 7-8 weeks has been a £2 loss. And I can't complain about that. I'm not going to complain about that. But it's just kind of on the nail on the head type of stuff every time, isn't it?
Oh, you're amazing. So imagine having just £2 weight loss every week. For me, it's not been quite as clear cut as that. I've had a 3/4 of a pound weight loss this week. So I suddenly seem to have hit that little bit of a plateau. But we'll see exactly how it goes.
Now, I know you're disappointed with your 3/4 of a pound loss, but we've always said from the start and from previous weight losses, any negative number there is a plus. And so you've got to be happy with that and you've got to take it. So I need you to stop beating yourself up and take it for the loss that it is. Yes, you're not as good as me, but it's still a loss is a loss.
You know it's as difficult to be as good as you when it comes to weight loss. Every time you're regular as clockwork in connection with your weight loss, and I just can't match it. But I'm going to put it being as being that I do have the willpower, but it's just not working for me quite as easily as you seem to be having it.
I'm not convinced that I would say as easy as I'm having it. This isn't easy. I'm not. It's not like I'm living the life of O'Reilly here, eating what I want, just sitting about watching films. So no, it's not easy. But we know that men do lose weight easier than women do, as a rule. But I am exercising more than you are, even though this week completely pulled that back. But anyway, let's move on. I was going to talk about us having a McDonald's this week. Oh, hello. But I don't know whether you want to talk about that or not. The fact that I had argued with myself all the way there, be good, be good, be good, and then I got there and Chimp said, you're here, enjoy it. None of this good. If you want to be good, go back home and have some bulgur wheat. You're here, enjoy it. And that's exactly what I did. A double Mick Extreme tutti pepperoni with large fries and a Diet Coke. And a £2 loss.
Yeah, see that damn Chimp with it. Let's go to McDonald's. But having said that, I did enjoy going to McDonald's. I did have the salad instead of having chips, and I had just the chicken burger, which was tasty. But I only did have about a quarter of the pack of the honey mustard dressing, which was really nice. A couple of Barry's chips went onto my plate, but if you can call a tray a plate. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't really complain. So having a £3/4 weight loss, it's still a negative. I will take that. I will rejoice with that. And this week, I'll not have a McDonald's.
Well, let's not be too hasty. Let's just see how things go. But to be honest, we're out tonight with friends who are over. Need to try and be careful. We've got 3 sets of friends arriving on Tuesday. 2 of those sets we're going to be okay with because they kind of watch what they eat as well. But Craig and Grania, oh dear, that's going to be that could be a disaster. We're going to have to watch and see what happens with that one. They are definitely our eating buddies. So we'll have to try and be careful. But so that's it. We both lost weight this week. Brilliant. What I would like to talk about, a little thing that I'd like to do in the podcast, is a likes or dislikes. Now you're laughing, but I want to get this in, and I want to do this. So it can be either a like or a dislike, whichever. It could be something that you've always known, or just something that week that you've discovered. So I'm going to go first because it's difficult doing this recording back and forward. So I'll just keep kicking off just now. My dislike, which I kind of knew, but not how much I actually disliked it. Oh, it gives me the pure rage. Talking in songs. Not other people talking over a song or anything. The actual artist talking in a song. Songs are for singing. It's not a poem. It's not a novel. It's not even a podcast. That's where you do your talking. Hate it with a vengeance. And I cannot think of any song that has been made better for a person talking in it no, there's just, the only one that comes close that I can think of is T'Pau, Heart and Soul. She kind of talks at the start of that, and it's okay-ish, but it's not brilliant, and it's not necessary. It doesn't make, no, in fact, no, I'm not having it. It doesn't make the song any better. She could have just bashed in with her singing, because she's got a fantastic voice. How about you?
There's nothing I particularly dislike with that makes me very angry. A bit of road rage comes into play now and again with people just being typically Spanish drivers and not indicating on things. But you learn to live with that until you get somebody who is a complete and utter arse behind the wheel, and then I get the road rage, and Barry tries to calm me down, which is quite entertaining. I just want to comment. What's happening with the new avatar for you? I really do like it, but it's a little bit different.
Well, I'm sure I don't know what you mean. I've obviously just dyed my hair, and I've got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on. Other than that, I've not changed in the slightest. It is all to do with ratios. The last avatar wasn't in the right ratio. Now, bear in mind, it's the same thing that created it. But if anyone's actually used this new AI stuff, you watch it on YouTube and they're all like, oh, it's wonderful, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Oh my days, it is not. Most of it comes out crap. 3-armed gorillas and dogs with hands, and I swear to God, it's not everything it's made out to be, but it is what it is. So I think we've kind of done for the week, I hope, because this has taken ages. I've not even finished putting it all together. So I need to ever think about what I can be arsed doing on a weekly basis. What can you be arsed doing on a weekly basis? OC.
So whilst you're uploading all of this and doing all your jiggery-pokery magic, I think I'm going to go and lie back in the sunshine. Speak to you all soon. Bye.
Okay, well, thanks for your time there, Elaine. Much appreciated. You go out and enjoy that sun. Get that skin all nice and leathered up. Not lathered, leathered. Right, so I'm going to leave it here now as well, but coming next is the video I spoke about from 5 years ago. So, just have a look. And as you'll see, as I said, nothing's changed much.
Hi, I'm Baz, and welcome to my channel all about my epic battle with weight loss. Here's the intro. Okay, that was a bit embarrassing. I don't actually have an intro, which apparently makes me very unprofessional, so I'll work on one. This video is primarily going to be me talking about my trials and tribulations, my ups and downs, battling weight loss. And it will be a battle, believe you me. I have tried to lose weight and I've successfully done so a great deal of times. Unfortunately, very difficult to keep it off. So probably a couple of things to know about me is, first of all, I like food. I say I like food, I really like rubbish food. And of course by rubbish, I mean highly processed foods. Love it, love it, love it. Probably a bit like most of the people that you know. Probably a bit like yourself. I also really don't like exercise. I don't mind walking. Walking's absolutely fine. I'm good with that. I am not, as part of this diet plan, considering doing anything special on the exercise front. So if you're watching this thinking, oh, we'll get some exercise tips and see how it works out for him, not going to happen. My main exercise is going to be walking, and I'm targeting myself with 90,000 steps a week. And on the diet front, you might be asking again, what's your big plan? What is it, this miracle thing that you're going to come out with to show us all how we can lose weight? Calorie control. I know, sounds boring, but that's what I'm going to do. Going to be a case of watching my portions, counting my calories, and see how we go. So my calories per week, I'm going to aim for, to start with, round about the 14,000 mark. That's so approximately 2,000 a day. So just up, maybe under 2,000 every day, just to get to that 14,000, and we'll take it from there and see how things go. So I'm not going to be all by myself on this journey. I'm going to have some family and friends helping along the way. Here are some of them now. So we'll be hearing from them as the weeks go on and getting some general chit chat from them about their history with diets and what they're thinking of the latest trends. But for now, the big burning question, what's my starting weight? Okay, I have weighed myself and my weight is, 16 stone 12 pound. That's 238 pound altogether. I'm 5 foot 6 and 3/4 inches tall. That's a big BMI. But I'm already a week into my journey, and this is how I've got on this week. I managed to get over the 19,000 steps, which is what I was aiming for. I have hit these many calories, and my total weight loss has been £5. I am now down at 16 stone 7 pound. So not bad for a first week, I would say. I'm not going to get overly excited. It is the first week, so as we all hear, a lot of water weight involved in there, and I'm not a newbie to dieting. I knew my first week was going to be a reasonably good week for weight loss. £5 I'm happy with. I've done 7 in the first week previously. I've done worse. So 5 stone, pretty much on the money for me, happy with that. The next week coming is going to be a big one. So join me next week where you will hear from some of the people that I showed you earlier on, and we will see how I've got on this week with my weight loss battle. Hope you've enjoyed this introductory video. Hope to see you next week. Just a note to self. Remember and plug in the microphone. Newbie error. And I don't have an outro yet either. We'll wait and see whether it's worthwhile doing these videos as I go along. Ta-ta.
5 years later, and we're looking at the same guy, only 5 years greater.
Well, thanks for your input there, Chimp. Unhelpful as always. Yeah, anywho, that's us for this week. So to recap, a 2-pound loss for Baz and 3/4 for Elaine. Elaine doesn't read labels, and Baz does not like people who speak in songs, and he plays his music far, far too loud in lifts. And, well, we may not yet have an intro, but we sure as heck do have an outro. Here it is. Thank you for taking time out to watch our little podcast. We truly appreciate it. If you like what you've seen, want to see more, and haven't done so far, then hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to leave us some constructive comments. Until the next time, I've been CB. Take care and stay healthy.